I have been meaning to do a reading on the theme of recognition, right? Recognition and breaking through the gate. This thing or this perception of there being gatekeepers and kind of waiting for the gatekeepers to recognize us so that we can break on through to that next level of our experience, and kind of looking at this from all angles, right? Like, with one of the main things being so many people just are kind of starved for recognition on all of the different levels, right? Some people are not recognized by their families. Some people are not recognized by their partners. Some people are not recognized at work. Some people are not recognized for their talent, right? And this is like chronic and like pandemic. And it just feels like this is coming up, and we're all kind of feeling it. And I'm even feeling it come down from higher realms, where even higher beings now, like, instead of getting all the messages about how we, just keep our heads down and focus on ourselves and do the inner work, now I'm actually getting the sense of like frustration coming down from higher realms, where there are higher beings who are like, yeah, like, this is getting kind of ridiculous. And this is one of the big things that the universe is essentially, like, all of us together, right? The whole universe as one entity. We need to sort this out. Like, this is the time where this recognition problem or this gatekeeping problem needs to be I don't even know what the right word would be, because I haven't worked, like, obviously we haven't worked all the way through this yet, so I don't even know exactly what this is about. But it sure as hell has a lot to do with how each and every one of us are working through recognizing ourselves and then putting ourselves out there to be recognized. And some of us are, walking up to the gates and like banging on those gates. Okay, let me just interrupt myself for a minute here, because I want to explore this theme of recognition more deeply. And to do so, I am so very excited to introduce you guys to my dear friend Rosalee. I have been waiting for an opportunity to connect you guys with her for literal years, and the moment has finally arrived. I am so excited about this because I just know that there's going to be at least a few of you who see this video. You're going to recognize her very deeply, right? And I just know that you could really benefit from her work. So if you will just give me a moment here to properly introduce her. She is a Renaissance woman. She does so many different things, and she is one of the most multi-talented and multi-perspective, right? She has a plurality of perspective, and that is one of the things I admire the most about her, because she has this ability to kind of blow past all of our kind of 3D human mind based perspectives, and she perceives whatever there is to perceive prior to all of that. Her perspective is so, I could say above and beyond, but that's not even really it. It's that her perspective resides prior to the population of our human perspectives. And you'll know what I mean when you listen to her channel in a few minutes here. It's better to just experience it. You'll know what I mean. For those of you, that her work really clicks with, you'll get it. You'll just, it will pry open your crown chakra and your third eye and give you a 360-degree perspective that you might otherwise only glimpse, right? This holistic perspective that I know it's something that I glimpse, but even though I only glimpse it, right? I only glimpse it, but Rosalee, she lives there with this perspective. And so she is a medium, and she has brought through messages for me from my dog who has passed on, and from a friend of mine who has passed on. And those were so beautiful and so healing and resonated so deeply. They really rang true for me. And she's an Akashic Records reader, and I've gotten from her the most incredible, like, detailed multi-page, like pages and pages and pages long report of details from my soul's journey and my soul's past. And I come back to it again and again and again because there are details in there that just ring so deeply true for me. And I never would have been able to put the dots together without this Akashic Records reading I received from her. She also does tarot readings, and when she channels, it's like she's inside of my own mind. She manages to expand upon everything that I'm glimpsing, and she gives me that higher perspective that I only normally glimpse, but which she can see so much more fully. To be completely honest, I don't know where I would be, spiritually speaking, if it weren't for all of the energetic exchanges I've had with Rosalee. She just keeps my spiritual path moving in such an aligned perspective. So I just had to take a couple minutes here to sing her praises, and this is not an ad. I'm not being paid to say any of this. I have links down below to her work. Those are not referral links, like they're not affiliate links. I do not receive any money when you click on those. I have just been dying for an opportunity to connect Rosalee with whoever is meant to connect with her. And I know there's going to be at least a few of you who, if you've been looking for a new reader to work with and you've been casting around, and if you've been looking for somebody who can really take you up to that higher perspective, she's the one you've been looking for. And so I just had to take a moment to express my gratitude for her work and my enthusiasm for those of you who would like to go check her out. I cannot recommend her enough. So, without further ado, let's find out what she had to say about this theme of recognition.
Okay, so what you were talking about, the recognition thing, that straight from the shower idea, that had been coming up for me like crazy too. And I mean, it even ties back into what I was just saying, and it ties into just the infinite being able to fit in a body, and the individuation loving itself and recognizing itself to know the love of God, or the one, or the whole. But I'm like thinking about it into like the meta origin, the quantum, and then the human anchoring angle simultaneously. Like there's a core paradox, like recognition as frequency feedback. Like at the quantum arctonic tier, recognition isn't praise or validation. It's resonance feedback between systems of awareness, if you know what I mean. When a being emits like a signal, a creation, a service, an idea, their mood, the field around it responds like in a harmonic or disharmonic waveform. Like most humans interpret it as being seen or being ignored, is simply the feedback coefficient between one field's output and the collective's current bandwidth, or the bandwidth of the people that they're around. So they can have like an over attachment to recognition, Leo, which has been coming up like crazy today, or trying to force coherence before the waves stabilize, which like ends in distortion. And then there's over avoidance, like hiding. And the movie Never Been Kissed came on TV last night, and like how she was like such a geek in high school. That theme has been coming up like the past couple weeks, like recognition in high school, and like how I was back then, and like everything that I've done in my multiple lives now, but the over avoidance, refusing to admit, like, it is refusing to emit a strong enough signal for coherence to form. And that's like kind of like stagnation or even hiding. But in that level, it's like the recognition isn't something we receive. It's a mirror echo, like a mirror echo of a frequency match. Like, it's neutral. And it's funny, you had said gatekeepers, and then you had said recognition separately, and then I saw it as recognition gate, like in my mind, like I was interpreting recognition gate, so there was like something to that. And then and it was coming through the readings that you did where Sirius and the higher Saturn and all them were disagreeing about me. I don't know if you remember that reading. That was a fascinating reading when they were disagreeing about me. And they were like, because a lot of the higher realms, and that I've been getting messages like that about the higher realms disagreeing before you even said that, especially when it comes to open contact and that comic thing that kept popping up for me. Three-Eye Atlas. But I'm thinking now of the gate and its keepers. It's like in higher dimensional architecture, a gate is like a frequency threshold that protects a system or ecosystem from an incoherent noise, or, I mean, in terms of computers, like from a bad one from getting out. But the gatekeepers in that instance are not jealous beings. They're resonance filters, ensuring that only certain fields or certain wavelengths enter a domain, or certain things that have the proper key in terms of computers. And when you knock at the gate, you're testing whether your waveform is stable enough to harmonize with that realm's laws. That was coming up for me a lot too. Laws, obviously. And the frustration we feel is like an interference ban. And especially as like, I don't know, my mind keeps going back to Saturn's compression versus Sirius's expansion. And the disagreement in the higher realms. I guess that's one specific example. Like, I guess I'm like channeling right now. I don't even know. And Saturn's frequency, you and I know all too well. It's structure, self-mastery, compression, Karman, and then Sirius is more lightness. And something was coming through about the false light. And light, when we say light, going towards the light, like white and black, that's the wrong light. It's more lightness, like lightness of heart, like light as a feather. And that's what we should be more striving for, but I guess that's just an aside. But light transmission, Sirius frequency is more light transmission, expansion, radiance, artistry, like the exhale, is it the inhale and the exhale? But the two clash until Saturn's integrity anchors in Sirius's brilliance, aka think about our Neo midheaven. Only then does it open the gate. And that's what they've been trying to talk about with my ignition. Oh my God, this is like all go together. Then there's the third level, which what we were mostly talking about, the human's translation of recognition and how people are starved for recognition, like you were saying. Because I'm thinking about my super heart chakra core, that or super heart uh channel that I've been building, or super heart broadcast, or super heart chakra. It's active, but the return channel, the ability to have like the corresponding receptive harmonics, it's blocked by my shame, my loops, my family, my, like I was just saying in the previous message, like the programming and the scarcity field to the recognition. But of course it's in, you know, abundance too right now. But the soul remembers the cosmic councils where recognition was automatic and the resonance was visible. But in the human density, the same mechanism gets interpreted as career, validation, love, visibility, or hiding yourself. So on that level, the work is to emit with full coherence, no self-dimming, but detach from the external measurement and not require the feedback equaling your self-worth. And that includes yourself, like your own like inner monologue, I guess, about your self-worth. And to refine the signal of integrity through like honesty and healthy boundary, and then allowing the feedback of recognition to inform but not define, like seeing it neutrally. And then it brings me then to an even higher level, like the quantum meta theme, I'm going to call it, across even my the blueprinters and the architectonic networks, like on a different level. I keep feeling the three-eye atlas thing, like the current epoch, like three-eye atlas and everything that's going around. It's shifting the collective coding, like we were talking about with the reprogramming or whatever. It's like shifting the collective coding from gatekeeping to bridging that gap. The old systems built on hierarchy and needing the recognition, who gets through and who's seen and who's dissolving, and like even in high school, who's the queen bee and the little underlings and the geek squad, now gets to run on mutual recognition and beings recognizing each other's source signature, not credentials. And wow, I'm amazed at how this like plugs into what I was just talking about my shame and my many lives in this life. And but that's why we're feeling the tension on that recoding, and we're part of the protocol rewrite, and we're part of that system rewrite. But like some other things to talk about in the reading, or maybe we can even just splice this in what I've been saying. It's like recognition versus radiance, like recognition as a mirror of radiance stability. And the whole Saturn Sirius bridge thing, the discipline plus luminosity creates permeability. And the gatekeepers as algorithms or passcodes, not enemies, but a resonance check. And particularly and family codes and the ancestral belief that visibility equals danger, or the recode as visibility equals service. We're feeling like the old gatekeeper loop pulling at us. And to be recognized is not to be seen. It is to be mirrored in coherence. And there's that word again that kept coming up. It's like recognition is not bestowed, it is remembered. Every gate that seems closed is simply waiting for a harmonic match. The gatekeeper is not an authority. It is my own former self ensuring readiness. I do not demand entry, I stabilize frequency. When my field holds coherence, the threshold dissolves of its own accord. And I do not, as the human Rosalee, I do not confuse hunger for connection with starvation of my worth. My art, my voice, my service, these are recognition in motion, as they are to all of us. They are the way, or one of the ways, or infinite ways, that Source witnesses itself through me. Let Saturn's structure uphold Sirius's song, and let the gates swing open through harmonic resonance alone.
Oh my God, thank you so much for that. It really helped me get past the back and forth I was doing because I kept thinking about how, you know, I feel like I deserve to be recognized. And I sure as hell see so many people that I know who really deserve to be recognized and who just aren't getting recognized. And we're all trying to like push past this glass ceiling that we perceive, right? But at the same time, I don't want to get caught up in recognition seeking behavior because we all know that doesn't get you anywhere, right? And so I've kind of been struggling with this back and forth inside of my mind. And everything you were saying, I could feel my mind like expanding beyond that kind of back and forth that I was doing. And I just want to highlight a couple of the things that really resonated with me the most. One of them was recognition is not bestowed, it is remembered. It is remembered, right? This internal remembering of recognition. And even visibility is service. That has been such a big one for me because I keep finding that along my path, the most frustrating block for me, like the one I'm facing right now, is that in order to step more deeply into service, I need to be more visible. Like I need more people to see me. Otherwise, I can't do what I came here to do. And so that's really strange. That is a really strange position to be in where you know that you're here to be of service, but in order to be of service, you need more people to see you. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. I feel like that is one of the things I'm working through. But I hadn't really quite made that connection that visibility itself is the service, right? That you can actually be of service to others when you let them see you, when you let them really see you. That is an act of service. And then, of course, the last thing you said, which I'm going to use that to conclude because it was just so perfect. Let the gates swing open through harmonic resonance alone. Let the gates swing open through harmonic resonance alone. Let the gates swing open through harmonic resonance alone. That's going to be my new mantra. I fucking love it.